Hello, good morning, welcome back to the fish lock out on the boat. Right, I tell you what, I've got lots on today. I've just come back from holiday and I've got everything to get back in order. I've got 2 fleets of pots to find. I'm going to run off, you might notice these, a new fleet of pots. I'm trialling out a new style of pot. Not only are they bright red, but also these are hard eye pots in here. Usual design of pots that I use is soft eyed pots. 2 entrance soft eyed pots, which are these, meaning that it's got a soft entrance in there. These have, if you can see, these are a hard eye, because they've got a hard ring in there, parlour pots. So it's got 1 entrance and it's got a parlour on the back. So I'm going to trial these out and see how they fish compared to the other pots that I use. They do work slightly differently and they do catch slightly different things. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. Get that flea knocked together. Right, yes, I've got lots on. Very important day today because the new Jurassic World has just come out and James has been carrying on about seeing it for weeks. So yeah, I need to be back by a certain time because we're going to the cinema as well. So fingers crossed I can find the pots, we'll have something in them. There's quite a lot of bait fish underneath the boat. Yeah. That's a good sign. Yep, let's go move on. A lot of weed growing on these ropes now. Not only does a lot of weed growth make it more difficult to hold the pots because the ropes are slippery, but also it just makes such a mess. First one. Someone shot over my pots and cut me up. Talk to you about that in a second. Right, first 3. Got 1 undersized lobster and possibly, nah, they're all undersized. Some crabs, some spider crabs, some brown crabs, some spider crabs and an undersized lobster. Now that first pot that I pulled up, there was a rope wrapped around it and I thought, that's a bit strange because I know I shot them out straight. I'll show you in a second when This shows that at some point in time either I've shot over somebody else or they've shot over me. And I've got wrapped up. Now, that means that when they've hauled their pots up, my ropes have been over top of theirs, or one of their pots has been wrapped around my rope. So all they do is when they haul it up, they could have stolen them, they could have just taken them. Now you're supposed to cut your rope and leave the other person's intact, but they've cut mine, so it's, yeah, can't really complain too much. It happens. So all they've done is they've hauled their gear and mine's been wrapped up in it, so they've cut mine, tied it back together. That explains most likely why there's nought in these pots, because they were absolutely stuffed with bait and they've been in the water for 10 days. Oh well, it's part and parcel of it, isn't it? Get this little lobster back first. A little male. An undersized edible crab. There's part of the bait. Undersized male edible. Second undersized male. This is actually really pale. I don't know if you can see, but he's really clean. You compare him, his white colour, to this darker, almost muddy one, and also he's gotten, see, whoa, easy tiger. You see these white worms, these white calcium worms on her back? This is a female, this is a male. You can tell straight away by how aggressive he is. He's got his claws right out, whereas she's just protecting herself. But also the pad underneath is different. She's been in her shell for quite a while. That's why she's really full of colour, and she's got these calcium worms on her. Whereas his shell's really clean, really pale. When they're really pale like this, it shows that they've peeled recently. They're no good to take because they're full of water rather than full of meat. All undersized anyway. Ling carcass. Little male spider crab. And another edible crab. Right, I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to splice that rope back together rather than just tying it, because a knot creates something that weed can get around, that other things can fasten around, whereas a splice is stronger. Disappointing, but yeah, you do get people hauling your pots, and you do get people stealing your pots. We've had a lot of trouble with it over the years. Someone has hauled up our pots here by accident. This accidents happen. You can't see where ropes are. The way that you shoot your gear on the ground is you look around and you see where the marker buoys are. Well, some of these big fleets, they can be 500 yards long. So the buoys can be 500 yards apart and you can't see the ropes on the seabed. So occasionally they do get crossed. And all you do is when you haul it up and you find someone else's rope on you, if you can't push it off the end, like with mine, if I've got a string of 3 and the rope's over my last pot, I'll just pull it up and just lift the rope off. When they're over like that, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to cut your rope and leave theirs intact, and then splice yours back together. But yeah, it happens. Once I've finished that splice, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll get these pots rebaited and we'll shut them back. See if I can't do a magic trick. 1, 2, boom! There you go. Instead of that real bulky knot, you've now got a nice smooth splice. Let's get these pots sorted and shot back. Saved myself with the last pot. Yes. Shot these pots in a new area. It's quite shallow and there's a lot of sand. And unfortunately, because there's no kelp and no other rocks like rubbing on the rope's just grown loads of weed, so I'm going to move them. Also, I can see they've been sat in sand because when the pots have come up, there's been bits of sand dropping off them, and we're picking up more spider crabs than anything else. A spider crab, crab, 2 lobsters in the end. One of them is big enough. First thing I'll do is, we have a little wrasse in this one. A little ballan wrasse. Put you back. Right. This is a question I get asked quite frequently. You see that this female edible crab here has lost all of her legs on one side. That's probably been a seal. Somewhere to take everything off one side is usually she'll have been in a hole somewhere and a seal will have found her and it'll go in and it'll just go hold of it, pulled half the legs off. When she sheds her shell, when she peels next time, she'll start growing them back. They do grow back. She's got quite a lot of killworms on her, this one. And a male spider. This one, just one spider, one little male spider. There's still a lot of bait left in these pots as well, considering that they've been shot, considering they've been down there a week. Yeah. We'll change the ground where these are fishing. Oh, the last one, the one that has done the business for me. Another ling carcass. Not one lobster, but 2. Right, this one's too small, this one's big enough. Get the pots out of the way. Right. Just move them aside a little bit and I'll show you. Yeah. 2 lobsters in one pot. One of them is undersized. This one here, this one is too small. Tell that straight away. He will be probably 75 to 80 mil. Lovely colour, blue on him, but yeah, it is a little male, but too small. But this one, another male. Yeah, he's easy big enough. So saved myself with the last pot. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Oh, quite interesting. You're not really going to be seeing much of this. It's just going to look like a pink blob to you. But that's a sea hare. And as well as that, there is also a snake-lox anemone. So it shows you that the pots, they do pick up life, they do hold life. I mean, this sea hare, what I'll do, I've got some decent photos of sea hares. I might even have a little bit of video footage. I'll put it in to show you what these are like. But yeah, they grow up to being about that big, like that round. And when you aggravate them, when they feel distressed, they secrete like a bright purple ink. Yeah, these snake-lox. See a lot of those in our foraging videos. Right, bait. Where's my bait? In one of these pots. You might remember this guy from our catch and cook. See, so absolutely nothing goes to waste. Any little bits that are left, Now when I've been filleting fish off, like pollock or ling or that bream there, they all just go back in the pots. We try and turn it into a crab or a lobster. Right, let's get the rest of this bait sorted, get these pots sorted, and we'll get them shot back. I think what we'll do is we'll run these off to a little piece of deeper ground. I've experimented both. The other week I had some pots shot really deep and it was just an absolute drama. These obviously I've shot them too shallow. It's just working out where the crabs are. Working out where the crabs and the lobsters are. Clean down time. Where are we?
Cinema!
Cinema, and what we're going to go watch? I can't tell you, he's a little bit excited.